For those who love meat, nothing to worry about. It can't be solved with a barbecue. If you can, have another meal until you satisfy your appetite. At first glance, under the slightly burnt exterior, but it hides the tender red meat that bursts with juice with a bite. Just the smell, the saliva can't stop flowing out of the eyes, and this seemingly inconspicuous store in front of you. But in just 3 months, it quickly turned red. All the barbecues in the store, known for their portion size and doneness, diners who come here to eat. Almost all of them are big eaters who love meat. The minimum standard also needs to show off 2 catties to be considered an entry, and there are a lot of people who exceed this amount. Has become a mecca for barbecue lovers clocking in. The sign in the store is this honey-rich Texas barbecue. What makes it unique is the smoky flavor. All meats are smoked and roasted with fruit wood. The whole process. It takes up to 10 hours in order to make the foodies earlier. Eat this heartfelt Texas barbecue. It's not dawn yet. The boss took the employees to the store to get busy. New top priority. It is to deal with various meat ingredients. The first priority was to bake brisket with gravy, but before smoking, also remove the excess fat on the surface. It is worth noting that the ones that cannot be removed are too clean, and that part of the adipose tissue is left behind, can be baked, effectively penetrates into the fleshy fibers, makes it more tender and juicy on the palate. Watching the employees perform their skillful knife skills minute by minute, you can change the fat and thin beef brisket just right. Place the processed brisket side by side on the counter and proceed to the next step of pickling and seasoning. More high-end ingredients often only requires simple seasoning on its surface. Just sprinkle the barbecue ingredients. At the same time, apply it evenly with your hands. Strive to be all-round, wrapped in whole brisket without dead ends. Now there's no waiting to marinate. Push it directly into the oven. For the first round of smoking, and this roast, it's going to be a long 3 hours. Due to the average daily, thousands of catties of meat have to be smoked and roasted. So the tyrannical boss deliberately spent a lot of money. Create a whole set of wow-looking specialty roasts. To avoid a shortage of supply, spare time. Start dealing with popular items in the store. Chilled pork ribs. Also rinse in advance. Tear off the fascia tissue on the surface that affects the taste with your bare hands. Unexpectedly, half a pork rib has at least 10 ribs. Sure enough, it is a feast specially prepared for the king of big eaters. At this moment, it is the same as the beef brisket. Remove the excess adipose tissue first. Just keep a little fat and taste good. Different meat with the same seasoning. Apply evenly on its surface. Even if the pickling is complete, it can not only stimulate the meat aroma of Chinuan new skin, it can also retain the most original and wonderful taste. Coke, but not for it? Simply marinate for a while. It can be neatly placed in the neighborhood. In the nearby oven, cover and smoke slowly, considering the picky taste buds of local young people. The clerk also has to prepare the big chicken thighs in advance. Unlike other meats, chicken thighs before roasting, it must be marinated in advance. This will make it more tender and juicy. Burnt incense. After casually removing the scraps, you can place them on the grill one by one. I didn't expect such a big store. Just the chicken thighs consume hundreds of catties. Not to mention other mouth-watering barbecues. Because the chicken thighs cook quickly, it will be arranged to be put in the oven at the latest. During this period, always observe the size of the fire. If the temperature is not up to standard, add items in time. Bake through constant high temperatures. Chicken thighs finally put in the oven, but the first to be baptized by oak smoke, full of burnt yellow visual impact, always stimulate the greedy insects in the stomach. The grease that spilled from the surface also dripped down. Feel like watching for one more second? I just want to drive away right now. Except for chicken thighs. There is also a glue spraying process halfway through the remaining barbecue. The whole smoking process seems complicated. It's not easy at all. You need to eat different meats, spray wine or beer separately, or fruit juice. This not only keeps you well hydrated, it can also make the roasted meat. Comes with an intoxicating aroma in order to better lock the water. During this period, it should be firmly wrapped in tinfoil. Put it back in the original position for a second retake. That's it. All the meat again and again, back and forth in the oven like a loop space. After 3 hours of waiting, the delicious barbecue is fresh from the oven, and every piece of meat you need a thermometer. Real-time detection of whether the internal temperature has reached the standard. Only what is approved is considered baked. However, pigs are excluded. It's hard to bake inside. You have to cut them one by one along the lines with a knife and throw it on the coals. Throw the smoked roasted fruit into it along with the chicken thighs. Period, and I'm going to spread the secret sauce evenly over the surface. Strive to absorb every inch of meat fiber. Unreached essence. Only wait until it's browned to be carefully arranged. Take out the burnt and shiny brisket, then homeopathically cut in half with a knife. The excess gravy in the room is flowing slowly. The golden light that rises is particularly dazzling. A little careless and secretly occupy your visual territory. You can feel it as soon as you enter. Delicate and juicy double stimulation. I haven't had time to taste it yet, but it has already melted into your heart. And for those who have bad teeth, you can also grab the whole piece of beef and mix it into shreds. Melting taste bud experience. It pulls at your heartstrings all the time. Roast all the meat before eating. Cleverly matched into a surprise package for one person. Whether it's brisket that pops with a bite, or pork ribs that are already tasty, and the big chicken thighs reduced to supporting rolls. Every bite makes the tip of your tongue feel numb minute by minute, immersed in the smoky flavor. Maybe this moment, only feasting to satisfy a hungry stomach. Who can resist? What about the allure of smoked barbecue?